All right. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Teen Talks. We're so happy to have you here. We're excited. Today we're going to be talking about something very, very special because Susan just experienced what I would call one of the most transformative and incredible weeks any human being can experience because she attended Tony Robbins's GYLS. And Susan, why don't you just take it from there?
Yeah, Global Youth Leadership Summit. And I attended as a captain, which means I'm basically a mentor of a group of kids. GYLS is for kids 14 to 17 years old. And it is an empowering event that I believe changed your life, Rehan,
Yeah.
way back when you were 14,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I
Um,
think I was maybe 15 years old, 15 years old, and it completely transformed my life in such a positive way. It was an incredible experience. Um, and yeah, so I'm excited to have this conversation because I want to get your perspective on it as a captain, what you experienced, because I can easily take myself back to when I was there for the first time as a teenager and what I experienced in those moments. So yeah, I'd love to hear about your experience. Just kind of give, if you don't mind, just giving everyone some sort of an idea of like what is this leadership summit? What is it about? And what are some of the experiences that you had as a coach? And what did you see? Just tell us about
yeah. Yeah, well, it started out with an application process, and I applied, and I was graciously accepted, which was meant a lot to me because they don't accept everyone. And so it's basically 300 kids that come to this event in San Diego on the campus of UCSD, uh, which scared me because oh my gosh, I got to sleep in the dorms with kids for 6 days and nights. Oh my gosh.
it.
I have to say it did wear me out. It was quite the recovery period afterwards, but it was amazing. And these kids come from all over the world. So we had kids in our group from the UK, we had them from Cambodia, we had them from all over the United States. Um, we had a girl from Norway. I mean, it was just really cool. And they all come together and nobody knows each other because if they are friends, they put them in different groups. And the ages are mixed between 14 and 17. And so when the first day, when they're coming in, they're just so like, most of them are kind of scared. They don't know what to expect. And we're there just trying to cheer them on, make them feel good, give them hugs and just trying to get them to feel like they're in the right place.
Yeah.
And they were in the right place. And what was amazing to me is even in the first day to see these friendships start to form so quickly. The kids just I don't know, it was weird. They just kind of opened up and very curious about each other. Of course, it's the environment. We encourage that. We ask lots of questions. It's basically a non-judgment, we love you no matter what kind of environment, very supportive, and all of us were trained to be that way as well. And all of us are volunteers, so we're all of us who were there to help them are volunteers. So right there, that's a lot of time to
Yeah.
take out of your life to volunteer to help these kids. That's how powerful and meaningful it is for us. And so everyone there was pouring our hearts into these kids. And as each day goes, they get more and more deep. So each day would be like, get up really early, got to go to breakfast, and you take your team, and everybody's like having to make sure we've got all our guys in a group and stuff, and go to breakfast and start talking and developing relationship there.
Yeah.
And then we would go for training, basically training, learning. But it was all surrounded in a fun way. Everything was made really fun. The presenters were good. Everything, there were challenges. So the kids had to work together as a team, and that was
Treasure
really,
hunt.
huh?
There was a treasure hunt, right? Or some
Yeah,
sort
the
of like
scavenger hunts.
scavenger hunt. That's the one.
But the scavenger hunt was done by GeoGaming. So
Yeah.
it was on the app, and they had to go all around campus and find these certain things and take fun pictures of each other. And you'd watch your points on the screen to see who was winning and all
Yeah.
that stuff. And then they have the Olympics where they're given problem solving things they have to do. And it was really interesting to watch how the leaders start to come out, which I think happened to you. So they start to blossom. And what happens is you've got the natural leaders, those who aren't afraid, and they step up, right? But then the other ones start watching to see how they think of these leaders, and then they start to step up. Because it's such an encouraging thing. They're on teams, they want to win, they challenge each other, they want to be better, they see this. And that was really fun to watch. The other things they're learning in the lessons and in the training is how special they are. It just as themselves, and what they have inside, and all the negative chatter is not truth, and how each one is so special and unique, and they have qualities that are for a reason, are for here to do something great in this world. And no matter what kid was in there, no matter what walks of life they came from, because it was extremely diverse. You had kids from very wealthy families who came in there thinking they were all that. Oh yeah, the ones I'm all that. And then you had kids that were sponsored and came with a group from Cambodia, and other places in the world, who this was just an honor and a privilege, and they had never done anything like this before. So it was interesting to watch the way they came together, and how they served each other, and how those ones who came in all uppity at the end, they came down a little bit, because those uppity things were not appreciated. There were some extremely powerful moments that I can go into, but first I wouldn't ask you, because I was a mentor to these kids. You were a participant for 2 years, I believe. And so what changed? What was it like when you came in?
I'll just say one thing. Just hearing you like describe everything, like it's bringing up literally like emotions in me, because of how I take myself back there, and it was just so powerful both times. And one thing about GYLS is, first of all, if I were to describe the whole event, it feels like home. It feels like you're surrounded by family, by an immense amount of love and joy, and it's like you can truly be yourself because everything is accepted there. You can express yourself the way you want to express yourself because people are listening, and it's such a safe environment. And I just remember some of like and I don't know if like this was the same, like if this happened this time, but I remember going through experiences like the board break, and you're literally breaking through limiting beliefs. I remember going through the, what do they call it again? There's pretty much this, it's not like a ceremony or anything, but this sort of event where you're mentally taking yourself to a place where you see what it's like when your limiting beliefs take control of you.
It's called the Dickens
The
process, but
Dickens process. There we go. The
they
Dickens
changed
process.
it. It was very intense. Actually, they have trainers that are trained, specific trainers for each team that are trained in the Tony Robbins way to know how to break those limiting beliefs, how to deal with patterns, how to help somebody who's really struggling. And when they did that Dickens process, they wouldn't let us into the room because it's extremely I've gone through it, so I know it's extremely intense.
I mean, I remember both times I did it. The first time I was very I cried both times for like such a long time, because I'm the type of person, I'll open up a little bit. I'm the type of person I don't express much when it comes to like how I'm feeling inside. I'll keep a lot to myself. And everything that I was keeping inside of me, it just came out. It came out in that moment. And the first time I did it, I remember my sister was there coming back as an alumni. And at the end, there's this sort of moment where you kind of release your emotions, and you know, they say like, you know, just give someone a hug, like go and see someone and give them a hug. And my sister, she just came straight to me and she gave me a hug, and I remember that moment so well. It was like I just felt like it was just like a huge relief for me. And then the second time, I remember like I did not stop crying until like that night. I just kept weeping and like it was because of how powerful it is. And I don't know if I'm scaring people who are watching this, but
No,
it is such a beautiful experience. And like you said, the people who are there, they're trained, whether it is, and I'll mention them from the people I remember, like Felix Lynn, Marlon. These are
mhm.
guys that
Those are our leaders that they were the presenters and the leaders that led us all, and they are amazing.
they're amazing. And even what's her name? Is it Kathy?
Yes, Kathy Buckley.
Kathy Buckley. What
She's
an
deaf.
amazing human being. What an
The
amazing human
presenters
being.
were the presenters that they brought in are incredible. Kathy Buckley is a deaf comedian who
Yeah,
has had a life that is unlike any other and is the most loving, beautiful person. We also had Siri Lindley. She has
yeah.
she's gone through. I got to talk with her, and she actually I bought her book and she signed it for my daughter. She's an amazing person.
Yeah.
Um, and then I don't know, I always forget how you say his last name, Nick Santinospalella,
What an yeah,
who
he's
has
amazing
he
too.
has no legs, he has one
Yeah,
arm, he's just amazing. Just these people that have been touched by Tony's teachings coming in and just living a tough life and appreciating the gratitude of just living. And
yeah,
they love these kids. It's like everybody who came there, uh, who's done it before, said this is their favorite event of the year,
yeah,
and they would say,
yeah. In fact, Susan, I think what we should do is they have these recap videos that they post. We'll link like a couple of them. I'm pretty sure I'm
yeah,
actually in like maybe two of them, the 2 years that I went.
oh
So
yeah, probably,
we'll put those in.
yeah,
But that's because I don't know if even we're doing it justice by explaining and kind of talking about our experience, but for people to actually even kind of just get like a visual sort of sense of what it is, I think it's a good idea to we'll put that in the description for anyone who's
for
watching
sure,
who's
yeah.
interested in it. And
The
yeah,
other thing I want to say about it too is like you came back a second year, right? So
yeah,
when you come in, it's 14 to 16 years old, you come in first as an ambassador. So that's the first year you can come in. Then if you want to come back, you have to go through an application process.
yeah. You actually
You're invited back.
you have to apply even as an ambassador as
That's
well.
true. All of
Yeah.
it's application. Um,
But it becomes more selective as you go
yeah.
up. Yeah.
But I mean, I asked most of the kids on our team, so you're going to come back? Do you want to come back as an alumni? And 95% were just like, yes, I want to come back. I want to come back. And then, you're there 6 days. Everybody's so tired because you're jumping up and down.
Yeah.
We're staying up really late because the other beautiful thing is at the end of each day, we come back
Recap.
with our home team, which is for mine, it was me and my co-captain and 6 girls. And we would come back at the end of each evening to debrief and talk about what impacted you today, or how are you feeling, and just very open and loose talk. Once I pulled out the nail polish, we were all doing our nails while we were talking, and just stuff like that. And it was interesting. Each evening it got deeper and deeper and deeper because people started to feel really comfortable. Those girls just started to open up, and we found out things that they probably would not share with most
Yeah.
anyone about their struggles, their everyday struggles at home, in life, and things like that. We were able to talk through and support them and give them tools to help. And it really opened my eyes. There were some other activities they did that really opened my eyes as to, we see these kids and we think they have it all together because they show many kids, we can tell they're screwed up.
Yeah.
But the majority of kids, they look on the outside like everything's fine because they're handling it. But then when they did some of the activities and in the debriefs, find out they're struggling with friends who are thinking of suicide. They're struggling with school not going well. They're struggling with bullying. I mean, there's so many struggles that I had no idea were that big.
Yeah.
And it made me go, oh my gosh, GYLS is for a reason. What you and I are doing for a reason. We need to give them the tools that we've learned from the Tony Robbins experience and others when they're this young.
Yeah.
It's incredible. I highly recommend that if you have a child between those ages, to get them in.
Yeah. And
It's life changing.
even if they don't even, they're not interested in it or anything like that, because I'll tell, like, my experience was one of those things where I was put into this camp, and that's all I thought it was, and I had no idea, where I felt completely out of place the first day, but I came out of it like, I'll say one thing: GYLS, it pulled me out from, I would say, a dark place, and it literally showed me who I can be. And
Yeah,
there's
tell
something,
that because I think you told me that you were like 14 or 15,
yeah,
very, very shy,
yeah.
right? And what happened on your team? Like that changed your life? Because you told me that moment changed your life.
Yeah, I mean, it was, so like on the first day they do these activities where, it's very fun. They're like games and stuff, and I was completely out of it. I love playing games and stuff, but I was completely out of it. I was super shy. I had a really hard time like interacting with the other kids, and I just wasn't feeling in my place. My sister actually came to see me. She's like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "I mean, yeah, it's fine, whatever." Um, and the next day it was really interesting. We're split into these teams now. So what happens is you have your home, like your pods. Those are like your home. That's who you sleep with and everything. But then you're split into teams, and these are the teams that you like join throughout the day. So you're with this team throughout the day. And I was on this team, and like, it was, I think it was number 9, but the slogan of the team was "Love Wins," and which is a powerful message, but at the time, it's kind of cringy, like, what, like, yeah, okay, love wins, yay, woohoo.
We were the dragons.
That's pretty cool.
I don't know.
That's pretty cool. Um, and then, so we were supposed to come up with these chants. Like, the first thing that you do when you're putting these teams, like, you have to come up with a chant for your team, because then when you're walking and everything, it's, team spirit and stuff like that. And the whole entire time I'm thinking, like, what am I doing? Like, where am I right now? Like, just get me out of here. And somehow we come up with at the time I was thinking it was like the lamest chant ever. We just spelt out "love wins" and then repeated it 3 times. So it was like LOVEWINS, love wins, love wins, love wins. Like, that was the chant that we came up with. Very original, very unique,
Little lame. But
But
all you could come
as
up with in that period of time.
exactly, and as lame as it sounds, I can say, like, that chant, it changed my life, because it was so lame to the point where no one in the team wanted to, like, step up and start chanting. And I have no idea how, I have no idea why, but like this, and I keep doing this, a snap of a finger, a switch turned on, and I was like, you know what, screw it. And I started to chant, top of my lungs, I just yelled it. And then the other people in my team, they started chanting with me. And I was like, oh my God, okay, this is happening. And that changed my perspective completely, because I went from being this shy kid who wasn't a, like, quote unquote leader, to people actually following me, and then it just changed the dynamic and changed my experience completely. And I discovered a part of me that I didn't think I even had.
Mhm.
And it just set me up to having such an amazing experience, and to being more open, and to asking more about other people. And like you were saying, in the evenings at night, when you are, with your home pod, and you're having those conversations, I remember as an alumni, people, because when you're an alumni, the ambassadors, they look at you as someone like, okay, you've already been through this, like, they'll come to you for advice and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And on the last night, I remember I'd had a conversation with one of the captains who was in my pod, and I'd opened up to him about, kind of things that I was going through, because at the time, I mean, I was living on my own in France, and there was a lot of stuff that was going on in my head, like, things that I was dealing with that I wasn't telling anyone about. I was keeping it to myself. And that last night, when we were all together, he looked at me and he said, "Rehan, I want you to share your story." That's the first time anyone has ever asked me that question. It's a question that I would ask everyone, everyone I'd interact with at GYLS. I'd be like, look, I just sit down with them and be like, I want to learn more about you. Like, what's your story? And they'd open up to me, but no one ever asked me that question. And I I was able to be so vulnerable and open myself up to this small group of people. Um, and it and it was just it was incredible because I felt understood, I felt listened to, and I felt like for once I had people who were there for me physically. Not saying like, of course, I've had so much love around me my whole entire life, but this type of support was very different. It was a different type of energy. It's something that I don't think you can get, from your typical friends or your family. It's unique to this experience. It's unique to this event, and there's nothing like it. There is absolutely nothing like it. And I'll repeat it and I'll say it again and again and again. We're not getting paid to talk about this, talk about GYLS and to promote it. This isn't something that we're being forced to do. This is genuinely something that I think both of us feel so strongly about because of what an impact it can have and the impact that it does have. People go into GYLS feeling the worst types of pain inside emotionally and anxieties and stress, and then they come out of it feeling empowered. They come out of it feeling amazing with dreams and possibilities and belief and self-confidence, and that's how powerful it is.
Yeah.
So
Quite
yeah,
beautiful. Yeah.
it's amazing.
Yeah. Well, we could talk about this more, which I think we
Yeah,
probably will on another.
we'll do a part two.
Yeah, we'll do a part two and really go into more of it because it's so rich. You can't do it in 20 minutes. So
Yeah,
let's plan to talk about this again.
yeah.
And
Even maybe next episode we'll just continue. We'll
yeah,
just go straight
okay.
into it. Because I
Because you
mean,
gotta go off to London and go to a wedding for a week and have a blast and stuff. He's just a traveler.
yeah, Kenya, France,
I
London.
know. Wow. I went to California
California is
for a month.
beautiful though. California is beautiful. And the thing about the United States though, it's so big and it offers so much because there's everything. Like
Mhm.
from the places I've been, at least in the US, like there's literally everything. You want to go skiing, you can go skiing. You want to see the Grand Canyon and see this beautiful like nature, like all these natural parks, like you can. You want to go to the beach, you can. Like there's everything. Big cities, like it's
Yeah.
yeah. And California is a beautiful place. It's truly
Yeah.
beautiful.
GYLS was in San Diego, so that's not too bad. Spent
Yeah.
some time at the beach afterwards.
Yeah.
Afterwards, on the beach going, oh my God, I'm delirious because I didn't get enough sleep and I was jumping around for 6 days and
Did you wake up
Over.
in the mornings early to like do this like because they do workouts in the morning, right?
I didn't. Yes, they had a Goscu at 6 a.m. and I was just like, no.
Susan, what happened? What happened to playing full out?
I couldn't do it. I was so tired. Are you kidding me? When you're
Oh,
getting
those
up
are the best.
at 7, and when you're getting up at, not at 7, at 6:30, so you can get to breakfast by 7:15, and then you go all day, and then you get off of training and events at 10 o'clock at night, and then you come back and you debrief for 2 hours,
Yeah,
and then you go to sleep and do it all over again.
it's
And
a
on
lot.
those nights that we stayed up till 2 because
Yeah,
we got so deep, we're not going to stop the conversation.
yeah, it's a
I
lot. It
literally
definitely
was
is a lot.
delirious for 2 days after that. Literally.
Did you fall sick?
I didn't get sick, but I could not, I couldn't even, I was just like, huh?
I get this thing. It's called the post GYLS flu. That's what I call it. Because you're going on adrenaline like the whole entire time. You're on 3 to 4 hours of sleep.
Mhm.
Um, this is not to like hate on GYLS at all. It's the best thing ever. Please, like anyone, just go. Send your kids, send everyone you know, tell your like friends about it.
You
Just
take
go.
really good care of your kids. I was on the medic team, believe it or not.
There we
You
go.
take really good care of your kids.
So there we go. Susan will take care of your kid. Don't worry about that. But after the event, there's a high chance that either they'll get the sniffles or something, or they'll just be completely tired and zonked and they'll sleep for a really long time. So it's a win-win if you ask me, for any parents watching, because they'll go to this amazing event, have a life transforming time, and then right after that, you don't even have to worry about them because they'll be tired, so they'll be sleeping the whole entire time. It's pretty good.
Yes, you get like a week and a half of, well, me time.
Exactly. And they'll come out of it feeling great, and you'll see the transformation in them and you'll be like, wow, this is amazing. So it's honestly,
And
it's a
they'll talk to you.
win-win-win-win.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it is a win-win-win-win.
Yeah.
On that note, go have fun in London.
Thank you, Susan.
We will
Appreciate
meet
that.
again
Yeah.
to continue this talk, and we so appreciate you listening. Please, please let us know what you would like us to talk about. Contact us, questions, comments, anything. Like, follow, subscribe, what are all, I don't know.
That's perfect. Good. Nice one, Susan. Yeah, that's really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're here for you. That's
Thank
why
you
we're
all.
okay.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.